No, I was not planning on doing a reading today, but here we are. So, maybe it was because there was a random man that came up to me in the grocery store and was like, "Can I give you a prayer?" And I was like, "Okay." He also said his name was Jesus. I don't think that was his real name. But, you know, he said some nice things, right? You know, I was like, well, that was a nice prayer. Thank you. He was a little close, though, so I had to be like, hey, can you give me my space? And he was like, okay. I think he was asking the cashier where the fireball was at, but she was like behind the register. So she's like, you know, it's over. He was like, yeah, double shots of that. Yeah. I don't know. I guess you're gonna have to buy two. You know what I mean, or buy the little, you know, little pint size. So, this I got some Palo Santo actually at the little at my local Five Below store. They had some, and some incense. I also have some, it's called Palo Santo incense. This Palo Santo says it's from Peru. So, you know, if you're into the Peruvian shamanistic powers of nature, la 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 la, right? You might enjoy some Palo Santo. And also the stuff that I have going currently is also Palo Santo scented. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of been that kind of a day, I guess. So anyway. Let's go on and get into something here. I think I'll go ahead and use my Spirit Halloween deck today to start out with, and we'll go from there, see what we need. What else we need? Kind of wish I had some music going on in the background. Hang on, you guys. You know. Right? Please do like the video if you're joining today. You do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video. So if this is a message that resonates with you, then, you know, feel free to say, hey, yeah, I'm down with that. Or, you know what, maybe that's just not my message today. And if it's not, don't sweat it. It's just not your message. Skylar, the gamer, the crafter. Jerica says, oil up. Hello, love from India. You know, I was going to mention that the incense holder I got from Five Below was made in India. And I purchased some incense, and then I mentioned the Palo Santo that I got also. There were several sticks of those that came in the bag, but these were for $5. The incense holder stick was only like $1. So, you know, there's some nice deals in there. You know, if you have kids, they probably go in there and want like one of everything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it's kind of a fun store. All right, guys, I'm getting some background music on here for this reading because I don't have my kitchen speaker on at the moment. Okay. I was looking for a song in particular. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, one of my neighbors apparently works at that store. I don't know if it's that location, whatever. Anyway, but they weren't working today, so they're like, yeah, they're here during the week. It was kind of crazy in there. Like, it's a Saturday. You know what I mean? Like, I was debating on whether to go into any store at all. But, you know, the Palo Santo was calling my name. And sure enough, they had it. They had it. Name a car for an edit. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. What's an edit? Or is edit some kind of abbreviation that you're using? I'm not sure. I'm not a gamer, so if that's some kind of game acronym, you know what I'm saying? No clue. I did have a Cutlass at one time, though. A Cutlass Supreme Brome, and it was navy blue. Edit a vid. Is that what you're doing? Crazy? This is live, so it's unedited. Just tell me a car. I just did. Apparently you weren't listening. Maybe you're gonna have to rewind it and let's go back. All right, the Hierophant. Voodoo Warlock. The Hierophant is the High Priest, Taurus energy. Okay, so you know, sometimes we can get these like, oh, nobody can tell me nothing, but sometimes, you know, we are the authority. You know, is everyone coming to you for the answers at work? What else we got? 9 of Cups. Yeah. Collective, I feel like you're a very satisfied type of person because not only do you know you have the answers for yourself, your own path, but you're very satisfied in that path. Such as the man in the grocery store today, he was like, our paths are intercrossing for some reason right now. So yeah, they are. You know what I mean? Like, who knows the real, true reason why, right? Sometimes we just have to live in that moment and hope it turns out for the best, right? He seemed fairly polite. Like, I didn't even know if he was in line. At first, I thought he was, like, in line, and then I think he was, like, looking for the, you know what I mean, like, the end cap stuff. But you know how it is in the grocery store these days? There's very few people working outside of, like, the cash registers and stuff. You got the stockers, the people behind the counter. You rarely have anybody, like, up and down the aisle unless they're doing the shopping for somebody else, right? So, you know what I mean, to help people, to help folks find the things that you're looking for. You don't have a, you know, a sales associate in that area really anymore, right? Even though they have a fairly large liquor department there, you know what I mean? So, the Lover's card, Succubus, energy, Gemini. Collective, there could be somebody that wants you to get into a partnership with them, and they could be kind of like trying to, you know, work their magic, work their, I feel like this could be a feminine coming after a masculine as well, trying to work their feminine wiles and be like, oh yeah, they're not going to be able to turn me down. You know what I mean? All that kind of bullshit that it's like, at the end of the day, do you know what I'm saying? Like, some of these people think they're a little so hot to trot, and it's like, are you deaf or something? No, but crazy, you are a little too crazy for me. Okay, so, exactly. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Okay. Yeah. Bye-bye. So again, people trying to pressure you into things. Hey, I want this. I need this. How about you sit the fuck down? And if you didn't go through like 15 other steps before coming to me to try and get what you need, exactly. All right? So just like crazy, or you'll get yourself kicked right out. Bye-bye. You know what I mean? 7 of Cups. So the Loch Ness, you know what I'm getting from this is that it's kind of that old iceberg thing where analogy where, you know, obviously the Loch Ness monster, you know, there's supposed to be this big body underneath, but it's real, right? The only thing anyone's ever seen is this little thing poking out, and like, you know, like the periscope, right? And, you know, it's meant to scare you into not taking action, or scare you into emotional, you know, codependency or whatever. Like, oh, I can't do that because, oh, the lockness is there. Yet, they're still kind of looking for it. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes others will encourage fears on your behalf, not only because they're their fears, but they're also codependent upon you for the answers, okay? And that's kind of what's getting with this succubus energy. Like, who's gonna fix my car? Who's gonna come over and do this? Who's gonna turn, like, bitch, don't you have a job? Don't you have a checking account? You're grown, ain't you? Some of these little pillow princess types, you ain't getting no sympathy from me, honey. And if you're a man trying to be a pillow princess, you can, exactly. Right? Yeah, I don't care. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, so you could have a decision coming up again. Don't go against your better judgment in this situation, all right? Because, exactly, I don't care how good they look, how good they smell, somebody else is sick of their poop, right? You know, so that whole kind of cuffing season, oh, I don't want to be without somebody. Yeah, it's not never about without you. It's so that they're not without somebody. Okay. Somebody I know, when they decided to get hitched, it was because they were a good candidate, was what I heard. Now, maybe they had more feelings than that, but that's what I heard, and I thought, wow, that sounds like the least romantic. You know, kind of like when Charlotte and Trey are sitting there, you know, and she's like, well, Trey, have you been thinking about getting married? And he's like, alrighty. And then she's like, well, I guess we're like, you know, and then she had to make up this whole story about how he proposed to her in front of Tiffany's and all this stuff that never happened. Right? Again, this is kind of that succubus saying, oh yeah, wasn't that so great? Wasn't that? Well, I mean, it was great for like 5 minutes, but the other part of the time, now I got this hangover and I still got to go to work the next day, and you didn't bring me anything for lunch, so no, I don't really want to talk to you right now. Right? Okay. Gemini, yeah. There's some maybe missing communication in the situation, but the communication may be that you just don't want to have the communication, right? Especially if it is this type of gimme, 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 what are you going to do for me? They're doing nothing, literally nothing. Yeah, it's time to disconnect. So again, you know, somebody can come around with their little sob story and this and that and the other, but, you know, when you were in a time of need, or when you were in a time of learning, when you were in a time of anything, has that person's attitude changed, right? What's your higher self telling you about the situation? Well, they said that this time it's gonna. Okay, you can keep sitting on that park bench, right? You know, like in that movie Forrest Gump, where he sits on that bench for the whole freaking movie. Then finally he realizes Jenny's just down the street. Okay? It's kind of like that. Kind of like that. Yeah, you can sit there and listen to this and listen to that and listen to this and listen to that. He didn't need to retell that story to all them people. He already lived it. You know what I'm saying? Jesus, it wasn't until finally when somebody said, hey, you know, that's just down the street. You know, I know it's allegorical and all that kind of stuff, but you know what I mean. Anyway. What do the romance angels have to say? I remember what happened with that Jenny character in the movie. You know, some people like her in the movie, some people don't. You know what I mean? She was kind of a codependent figure as well in the movie. All right. You know. But yet her and Forrest paths crossed, right? And were intertwined, enmeshed almost. Enmeshment is something that they talk about with codependency as well, because that's often what somebody who wants you in a codependent relationship will count on, so that you are unable to have independence to act upon your own agency. Okay, that's what they would prefer for you, even though they've done probably jack shit with their own fucking lives. You deserve love. You are loved. You are lovable, right? So in case anybody said the opposite, don't listen to those folks, right? I mean, like that guy today, he's like feeling like he was Jesus, just wanting to spread joy and happiness to people. You know what I mean? Am I gonna say, hey, get out of my face, man? You know, obviously he was having a fairly decent day. You know, I mean, I don't know where he's sleeping tonight. Probably not as nice a place as I have. You know what I mean? But there's no reason for me to get in his face and be like, like that's just silly. That would be dumb. You know? Like some people never grow out of the mean girls, you know? Oh, Lord. You know, even Regina George found an outlet for her anger at the end of that movie, right? You know, like some people be like, no, I'm just a bad one. I was bad to the bone. Since the day I was born, and I'm going to be bad until the end of time. Right? Live fast, die young, leave a good looking corpse, right? All that kind of bullshit. Yeah, remember that the next time your friend offers you some drugs, especially when you don't even know where they're from or what's in them. Yeah. That's why your best bet is, you know, getting it from the dispensary or from the liquor store, like everybody else. Okay. Or hear them people drinking the moonshine makes them go blind, y'all. Okay, I'm just saying, you don't know what's all up in this stuff. Just because somebody's smiling, grinning in your face doesn't mean that they give a fuck about you. Just saying. Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction there. So, for some of you collective that are feeling like, yeah, you got like maybe I could do this, right? You know, maybe you're having connection and chemistry with the right person, okay? And maybe it's somebody who's not going to bullshit you, all right? Because I'm definitely getting that that somebody or maybe somebody like in partnership with somebody else, like, you know, kind of like somebody of yours sees you're lonely and is like, you know, well, they say they're a buddy, right? And they're like, oh, hey, I got somebody for you, right? You know, it's kind of like that is what I'm seeing that somebody needs to be wary of, okay? So yes, although there may be a strong magnetic attraction, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket on the first date, right? You know, like if they can make it around to date number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then maybe you got something there, right? But until that time, don't worry about it so much. All right, it's kind of what I'm getting here. And also for some of you, this is do not get busy with this person sooner than you want to. So again, that pressure situation. Guys can get pressured into sex too, just as much as women, right? Well, I don't know about the stats on that, but there's some, you know, ladies who will push it, right? Like Salt and Pepper. Push it. Push it real good, right? It's not exactly what that song's about, but you know, so I'm just kind of saying, and you know, see, it's like how she's conquered this person. I'm getting also like Samson and Delilah. type vibes. Also, Delilah, the radio show you might listen to. Delilah. She's usually on the weekends. So, what else does this collective need to know here? Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay. So, collective, I feel like what's happening for some of you is that you're remembering like maybe how it has been with people in like just lustful connections where you're feeling kind of zapped, like I can't do anything else. Whereas this feels like more like there's life force, you're wanting to move forward and kind of explore the world type feeling. Okay, so you know, with the right person, certain things make sense. You know, the famous Sex in the City, she's like, oh, you know, and there are all these rules like, oh, I can't date a guy that brings you carnations, can't date a guy that wears penny loafers, blah, blah, blah. Well, but the right person, it never matters, right? Okay. You know, some girls don't like guys with facial hair. You know, for me, I've dated guys with or without facial hair, you know. For me, it's not a hard line, you know, and some of those things are preferences, okay? And who's to say that that person can't change over time? You know, people get so hooked into their perception of who you are that they forget to do any development on themselves, right? And they stay in that codependent space thinking you're never going to change, right? And it's like, well, most people with a brain, something's going to change up there, and over time your opinions and perceptions on certain things may change or deepen, right? Have more depth, right? Some things are not simple answers. Some things become more simple and clear, right? Such as the other day when I was talking about one of my former coworkers that would say some like weird stuff. Like I should have reported that to HR, but other people were like, oh, no, that's normal. It's like, no, it's really not normal. It's just not. You know what I mean? Like I should have held that line, but you know, I didn't really have the support there. A lot of us collective, we don't have that support. We are the ones who have to stand up and I was when I first one of the first things when I woke up today, I was coming through the message. You know, if you don't take a stand for something, you will fall for anything, right? And trust me, there's one after another just waiting to try. Okay? And it's up to us to put the boundaries up to say, you know what? No, I'm not laying down. I'm not spreading my legs. I'm not doing your drugs. I'm not taking your payout. I'm not taking your fall. I'm not doing any of that stuff. Right? Okay. Because why, collective? Because you already know better. You already know better. You know, for some of you, this has been a gifting that you've received for a very long time. Okay? That you had this type of knowing. That you know you're a born leader. That you know that, you know what I mean? Like, don't be trying to get that past Cheryl's desk because you know she's not going to sign off on that unless every, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. You know, where other people just, yeah, whatever, I don't care. You know, you keep doing the I don't care, and then guess what happens? You're going to find out if you care or not. Yeah. Like I said, if you don't take a stand for something, you will fall for anything. Again, retreat. It is time to disconnect from the world. Okay, so when we say the world, what does that mean? Maybe that means, you know, what work wants when it's the weekend, right? Maybe that's disconnecting from, you know, some family members that are always like blowing up your phone about this, that, and the other, and you're just like, look, I just need a day off of this, right? You're lovable. You deserve that time. Okay? You deserve to be your own priority. Right? I know. Amazing. Amazing. Okay? Just like I deserve to be able to block any little asshole that comes on this channel starting up their shit. right? Because it's my channel, you know. That's for my mental health, not only for my mental health, but for the health of the collective that tunes into this readings, because I'm not going to stand for that, right? I'm not going to fall for that. Sometimes you have to tell these people, because if you don't verbalize it, then they will go ahead and do it thinking you're okay with it. You know? You ever have somebody give you like a gift and you're just like, why would they even get me that, right? Well, did you tell them what you wanted? Okay? That's part of manifesting with the universe as well. Okay? So I understand it can be very difficult to break out of some of these karmic ties and cycles, but maintaining your boundaries will help you manifest those positive experiences going forward every day, right? And saying, you know what, maybe me being nice to that guy in the grocery store was part of the reason why I am here today. You know, on this one day on earth. You know, I'm not talking about yesterday, I'm not talking about tomorrow. All right? So, you know, collective, sometimes it's like, okay, at the end of the day, it's like, did you try your hardest? Right? And if you didn't, use that time to pray, use that time to meditate, use that time to say, okay, if I'm not feeling good about it, maybe it's time to listen for some other answers as to maybe why I was experiencing it in the first place, okay? And if you're not sure about doing that through meditation, you can try journaling, free writing. There's lots of meditation journals out there. I would highly recommend writing, especially if you do have dreams due to thinking about certain topics. Sometimes the answers come to us in our dreams, right? I'm not gonna say everything's gonna make sense. You know, like in that movie, Raising Helen, right? And she's like, what does it say? What does it say? And she's like, it's the lyrics to Whip It. And she's like, well, this isn't it. And she's like, well, I understand it. You know what I mean? It's like, to them, they understood what that meant. You know what I mean? That message was for them. It wasn't for the Joan Cusack character sister. It wasn't for her in that, you know what I mean? Or maybe that was her in that. But you know what I'm saying? Okay. I think I'm getting the point across today. So do enjoy your Palo Santo, your incense, and burn it all safely, right? Extinguish it near the end of use. Sorry. He has so much makeup on. He looks so attractive, this Dave Mason, old singer. Anyway. I mean, but you know, the old makeup was a little bit different. You know, everybody kind of had the same look, but you know, I mean, nowadays the Hollywood look is a little different, right? But it's all they make you do all this, right? Did you guys see that? It was at Dochi. She was showing her facial tape. I have to say, I didn't really care for the outfit that they had her in for the Grammys or whatever. I don't know if she chose that, but I really liked, I think it was the BET performance where she came out in that sparkly thing and she had that big wig on, and then she like took the wig off and then did her performance and stuff. I was like, yeah. Anyhow, like, whatever. I like that one better than the Grammy. I mean, the Grammys one was like very nicely choreographed and everything. It was impressive. I just wasn't a fan of all of the costuming. But you know, I'm not a costume designer, so just your local friendly tarot reader here on that message. So keep it clean, keep it fun. Look out for number 1, and if you have time, look out for number 2, right? Till next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye.